The midpoint formula is a formula that can be used to determine the ordered pair that is right in between two other ordered pairs on a line segment that connects them. So if we have two ordered pairs in general, x1, y1, and x2, y2, here's a line segment that connects those 2 points. The midpoint would be on that line segment and halfway in between the 2 endpoints. And what we see here is the formula that can be used to determine what that midpoint ordered pair would be. And we're going to take a moment and derive the midpoint formula. So first we're going to look at a specific case, and we'll take a peek at the ordered pair 1, 2. I'm just randomly pulling some ordered pairs out of thin air to see how we would go about finding that midpoint if we had specific number values. So the first thing that we're going to do is just identify who are the x values where I start and where I stop. So I've got an x value of 1 and an x value of 3. That's my start and stop. If I'm looking for the midpoint for the ordered pair that's on this line segment, the x value in question is going to be halfway in between the 2 endpoints, right? Now, in order to determine what this x value is, essentially what we're going to need to do is average the 2 endpoints, or we'll take 1, add it to 3, and then divide it by 2. This is going to give us 4 halves, and the x value that is smack in between the 2 endpoint x values. And if we do the same thing for the y value of the midpoint, we'll see that we need to take into consideration the y value of each of these endpoints. So y is equal to 4 up here, and y is equal to 2 down here. And the y value of the midpoint is going to be halfway in between these 2 ordered pairs. So in order to get this y value, again, we're going to have to average the y values of the endpoint ordered pairs, which means essentially we're going to get 4 plus 2 over 2, which is 3. And we now see that the midpoint for these 2 endpoints is the x coordinate 2 and the y value 3. So let's generalize this process to determine or derive the midpoint formula that we see up here. So in order to generalize a process, we basically take out the numbers and put in variables to say it could be any x, y ordered pair in general. This is x sub 1, y sub 1, and this is another in general ordered pair x sub 2, y sub 2, and we've got a line segment that connects these 2 ordered pairs, and we're after the midpoint, or the point that's smack in the middle. Now, in order to get the x coordinate of this midpoint, we're going to need to look at the average of the x coordinates from the 2 endpoints. So there's x1 is the first x value, x2 is the second x value, and the x coordinate that is smack in between those is going to be determined by averaging the 2x values of the endpoints. Similarly, the y coordinate that's right in between the 2 y coordinates of the endpoints, again our y values are y1, y2, and the y coordinate that's right in the middle is going to be y1 plus y2 all over 2, basically again the average. So this x coordinate and this y coordinate are going to make up the midpoint ordered pair between these 2 endpoints, and that is essentially the derivation of the midpoint formula.